Hello everybody, welcome back to Language, Litigation, and Integration Part 159, Casual Conversation 77. Hope everyone's having a good day out there. Or not, who gives a flying fuck about goddamn fucking anything? I sure as fuck don't. You know how we do it. We got current events and talking points that everyone's gonna steal. We have relevant and random stories. And just so I can start with the quote, because the midterm elections have recently I think been decided or something. We'll talk about the Senate. I don't know if the House counting is done. But back in the 60s, to the civil rights time, Malcolm X once said, it's the ballot or the bullet. So I took his advice and I didn't vote, so hopefully I get a bullet. That's how it works, right? That's what he meant by that quote. If you don't vote, you get shot because democracy. And so I didn't vote, hoping I can get someone can come in and give me a bullet. Because I don't get to live at all. So I think that's what he meant by that quote. But it's typical type of stuff. News cycle's been pretty heavy, so I had to get one of these out there. I'm already almost on to another page, so this might be a long one, might be a short one, depending on how much I have to say about the different topics. So we have another great travesty, one of the most oppressive things in human history. Another comedian does more comedy, which I thought was pretty good. So we have Dave Chappelle. Turned my phone off ring. I'm still getting spam calls, literally 8 to 20 a day. So that's always good stuff. And he keeps saying Medicare. Like I said, I applied to healthcare.gov just to see if I have to pay anything. I'm not getting any health insurance at all. But I have to pay, something smaller, it's free. I'll get a government plan to get a flu shot or something. But I can't imagine. I don't think I put my phone number into that. So I have no idea how these people got my phone numbers. And I believe the phone calls started before I even applied for health insurance. So I would turn that off. But again, it's not even fun. Sometimes, most of the time, it's robots. Sometimes it's actual people. But you can hear it's just a call center in the background. Some fucking jungle fuck third world country, probably in America, to be honest. But you never know. So we had Dave Chappelle give another SNL monologue and receives more backlash. Again, once watched the whole thing, it was a whopping 12 minutes. If you listen to the content of what he's saying, I cannot understand how you could try to parse out something that could kind of be offensive. People just hear them talking about their group, they have no idea what they're talking about, they project their insecurities on, they say bad guy. Again, I'm the victim of that for everything. Just if I try to buy a car and ask them how to turn it on, if I try to ask a dispensary how to open a product, if I try to walk into the gym, I told you about the guy that had the long and illustrious career sitting in saunas and tells me he's going to open the door to let the smoke out, to being just completely inconsiderate with others. But that's what we do. We don't teach our kids to behave. None of us ourselves know how to behave. We transmit our behavior, and then we just point at each other and say, look how bad he does it wrong, he does it wrong, he does it wrong. And then 2 million people in the United States will die because cannabis isn't legalized and prescribed. And there's a war in Russia and Ukraine, and the FBI says, how would publication of most profound scientific discovery in all of human history help sentiment change? It's like, again, I'm done feeling sorry for anybody when I'm the one that's pulling the entire fucking weight of this species. You guys just steal shit and then go back to your fucking privileged fucking lives. And that's the point I really want to emphasize. You guys are so fucking stupid. You literally just don't know how to behave. And we're so privileged. Like every person I've ever met, or named personally, it's just disgusting. All disgusting fucking people. So now we're gonna get mad at Dave Chappelle. But a quote that I like, I just have overall impression. I didn't write anything really down with the content except for one line. But I had D+ to A-. I thought it was a good show skit, and there was some new material in there. Some lines snuck up on me. The one that I really liked was, you know what I've never stolen from work? Work. It's a nice little dichotomistic pair. See how the repetition changes the meaning of the word, kind of. But it's I just had the comma. But so that, like that, I thought that was fine. People freaking out, obviously, because I'm actually being oppressed. Like, actually, my rights are violated to the point of literally forced to work with armed presence if I try to leave. That is fucking slavery. And everybody else is just, like, offended because of words. And they can make a choice to not be so fucking fat, or to have a better relationship, or to be in a healthier state, physical state themselves. And I am over here, I can't sleep for more than 3 hours because I don't feel safe. And I can't eat properly because I don't feel fucking safe. And I have no way to get out of it. And people are getting offended by jokes. Enjoy your privilege and internal fucking legacy of fucking filthy fucking shame. Seriously, everybody that's suppressing my work, you are part of people that are hurting the entirety of the human species. Think of those 5 people that are your good friends, your work associates, and then maybe if you're famous, your followers. Those are the people you've influenced. And there's, again,
We have 8 billion people now on the fucking planet, and all of them are fucking stealing from me. All of them are transmitting my analogies through my research and my work. I can't turn on a single fucking show, live broadcast, podcast, anything, without people clearly just talking through my analogies. Literally. Pay me what I have fucking earned. It's directly illegal. Nobody cares. There are no laws. Absolutely no gives a fuck at all. Tried to check out wanted to watch the Andrew Schultz entire special. Kind of got dry after like the first joke. The opening joke hit, I thought was fucking hilarious. Something about a wetback joke, about, just like, something about Mexicans or Latinos like coming on their back, and that's why I call it wetback. That was fun. That hit heavy. That was fucking hilarious. And then I kind of turned off after 5 to 10 minutes. The first joke was absolutely fucking hilarious. Didn't really watch more. Not really for any reason, but just comedy is not something that really, it can really just doesn't do anything for me in terms of like, I'm sitting there expecting to laugh, and it's like I don't really, like I'm not like itching to laugh. It's just like I'd rather go do something else. So, not like an F, not like in my reviews for my TV shows where I shut it off. This was so off-putting. It was just like, I'd rather just go do something else. So first joke was absolutely fucking hilarious. I didn't really watch much past, I don't know, 10 minutes in. So, in our hilarious privilege, a box of hamsters this week, we have Jeff Bezos gives Dolly Parton $100 million to give to whatever charity she wants. So a really rich dude gives other really rich person $100 million to give to somebody else. And says he'll give most of his money to charity. Again, that's great. That is fantastic. It really is. $100 million. Mackenzie Bezos donates another $2 billion. Awesome. Fantastic. Guess what? That money is going to be a fart in the fucking wind. Do you know what won't be a fart in the fucking wind? Is education. Teaching people how to fucking behave. Give a man a fish. Teach. Fuck fishing. Just teach him stuff. No, we would never do that. We would never do the actual one thing that would actually progress our species profoundly, directly today. And I don't give a fuck about the species anymore. I never really fucking have. I do math faster than I fucking breathe. I would like to make some money off of that. I'm a normal fucking person. I'd like to have a career. The answer is no. And we just have rich people, box of hamsters, all just fucking disgusting, fucking nasty people. Because everyone likes Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton is like Mr. Potato Head gone wrong. My God, how much plastic surgery is in that bitch's fucking face? Uh-oh, back to America. Pop, pop, pop. Oh, duck and cover. Pop, pop, pop. Had a lot of shootings, obviously. We had a shooting at the University of Virginia by a student. 3 dead, 2 injured. Shooter armed and dangerous. He's since been taken into custody. And it seemed to me on that one was a football player killing football players. Nothing says like a big, strong, tough man. Oh, I can't play a game. Let's go NY to show them how tough we really are. Wow! 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 So that was good. But again, teach people to play games and come. Don't teach them to develop their emotions. Don't develop any other skill sets. Don't teach them to develop identity. Don't teach them to develop decency. Don't teach them to develop actual teamwork skills. Don't teach them to develop actual individuality. Teach them to play games and come. And when they don't know how to behave, they're going to resort to violence. At a school where every single student is actually stealing from my educational research. Every classroom you walk into is directly affected by my proofs. Can people change their behavior? Absolutely not. As again, people are slaughtering each other. Oh, go to the NFL. Can you take cannabis? Nope. But we can clear the Dolphins quarterback to go back on after he's clearly like seizing and having a fucking hemorrhage on the field. Oh no, he's good to go. Right, Roger Goodell? We're all about player safety, right, man? No cannabis, but people that have seizures, we're going to pay a doctor $10 million a year to clear our players and say, well, medicine, he's licensed from the state to say he's cleared, which is stealing from me. We steal branch property in direct violation of Article 1, Section 8, Subsection 7 of the United States Constitution, in direct violation of the 5th Amendment. You can't distribute private property for public use without just compensation. And my just compensation is slavery. So again, I'll always shout out to Roger Goodell and everybody else. If you are not prescribing cannabis as a medical doctor, you are stealing from the state that is stealing from you and killing people. And that is your fucking legacy. Die in filthy fucking shame. Crimes of omission as a historical and religious, again, fuck religion, but has a historical background. There's a distinct differentiation in the context of teaching, of judgment. Omission versus commission. Not doing something is the same as doing something. The result is the result. The means doesn't justify the ends. Well, the ends are the results, and it's kind of like the reverse of that. It's just like, it doesn't matter if you did something or didn't do something, you made a conscious choice, and the result was death. And your defense is I'm so fucking stupid, and there's a bunch of stupid people around me with the same shared insecurities. My voice versus yours. My proofs versus yours. Haha, you guys can't prove anything besides stealing from me. Haha, gotcha. Gotcha. Fucking losers. Ohio man kills his neighbor doing yard work because he thought the neighbor was a Democrat. This is in Okeana, Ohio, Butler County. I looked that up. Lifelong Columbus resident, did not know where the fuck that was. I was thinking that was going to be more Butler County. I thought it was going to be southeast and was southwest, just like kind of north, a little north of Cincinnati. Said he confronted him 4 times, and then blasted. Then went to blasting. He got to squeezing, got to pulling the trigger. Yeah, got to get rid of those. Nothing says democracy and freedom, and the will of the people, like shooting down your neighbor. Know thy neighbor, love your neighbor, right, Christians? Oh, he's a Democrat. I don't love him anymore. God and country, baby. Pop, oh, God and country. Yeehaw. Ohio. And is it Okeana? That's how I pronounce it. Okeana? Okeana is my guess. If the syllables are read correctly, it would be Okeana. Okeana, maybe. I don't know. Diphthongs, again, I sound out the diphthongs. That's why I say bainte instead of bainte sometimes. I'm just sounding out the diphthongs. And I drive in, like, when my neighbor Sean asks me why do languages matter, I think in syllables. So they don't really matter, but let's just see which ones people speak. Humans or otherwise. Ooh, sweet. Oh, Mike Pence says, it doesn't take courage to break the law, it takes courage to uphold the law. NBC exclusive interview about January 6th. So therefore, Mr. Michael Pence, is there a single person in law enforcement with courage today? No. No. So this is projection. Right at point we're into year 7 of knowing Brad exists. We're too stupid to understand that he's really proven all of our thoughts to us faster than we can think them. And then we open our mouths and form sentences, and we just project. Yeah, because again, there's not a single fucking law enforcement person. People that I've contacted personally, Gary Lewis Jr., Nathaniel Lewis. And fun fact, Nathaniel Lewis is the story about there was a reference to "Aw shit, Nate." That was short for Nathaniel Lewis. That was the "Why do you make me finger myself at night, Nate?" "Aw shit, Nate." That's the same Nate. Now he's a fucking piece of fucking shit. Again, his father is the police chief of Bexley. Bexley has Capital University. Capital University is one county away from me right now today. Hey, what? Excuse me? I don't know anything. No context, bro. No context. It is what it is, man. Yeah, I've not met a single law enforcement. I've not met a single law enforcement that would uphold the law. I've not met a single fucking person that would do anything decent at all, period. They will sit there and say, when they meet me personally, in my personal scenario, they will say, I don't give a fuck. They will disrespect me, and then they'll say, how much responsibility do I feel for this person's life experience? And then they'll say, none. Again, my parents weren't responsible for parenting, my friends weren't responsible for being friends, my teachers weren't responsible for being teachers, my coaches weren't responsible for being coaches, my guidance counselors weren't responsible for being guidance counselors. Everybody's responsible for being selfish, insecure, incompetent, and chase a career, and then say, ooh, not my problem. Not my fucking problem. And then when you post about it on LinkedIn, it's against their terms and services. Yeah, the most profound criminal activity in human history should be against your terms and services, and posting about it shouldn't. But hey, I'm a scapegoat. I'm nobody. My life is snuffed the fuck out. Everybody steals from me. Everybody lies about it, and nobody gives a fuck. And then Mike Pence says it doesn't take courage to break the law. It takes courage to uphold the law. So therefore, I'm the only person with any courage at all. Period. End of story. True. Uh-oh, pop. Oh, just kidding. Stabbies, stabbies. We had the Universe, straight out of Moscow, Idaho. We had a quadruple homicide of University of Idaho students, which I didn't know there was a Moscow, Idaho. But it looked like 3 sorority girls and a fraternity member, because they were all like living at the same house or something. But they were stabbed with an edged weapon, and no suspect in custody. So now we have a dude stabbies. And he ran away. So that's good stuff. Again, another college beef. Do we know how to behave? Do we know how to control our emotions? No. Are we old enough to be the savages? Have our primitive value? Oh, I'm going to show them. Oh, yeah, they resort to violence because we're pathetic fucking animals. Good job. Whoever did that one, good job, buddy. Or girl, whoever won. Good job, guys. So I read a headline that didn't really seem to pan out. It said Iran votes to execute 14,000 arrested protesters. That was the direct thing written off of Reddit. Again, then I looked into just a couple sources. It said like their parliament, and I have no fucking clue what the structure of Iran's government is. But it was like they voted to overwhelmingly, like 130 to 66 or something. We'll just say 69 to 169. But to, enforce like punishment with no leniency, total severity, but it wasn't explicitly calling for the death penalty. I don't script Iranians. Don't speak Arabic. I don't think it's Arabic there. Maybe peut-être, I don't know. So again, I couldn't read the original publications of local news sources, but it doesn't seem to be accurate. I think it said like this is just like strict sentences and more of like an appeal to courts. Like I don't think the Congress there or the whoever did the voting, the Parliament doesn't like enforce the law either, just like here. So it was more like an appeal to courts about sentencing. And so they did sentence somebody to death. But when I read the headline, Iran votes to execute 14,000 things, I think it's like they hit the gavel, they're all in a big cage and just mow down time. So it's like that would have been a pretty big news. I thought that would be very clear if that occurred. And so obviously not good regardless. But if you want to make a protest, be more fucking strategic. Be surgical with that bitch, Shake. My God. Don't just whip off your fucking headdress and just wave it around and say, look at me. Right, in a Catholic school, we used to have like a thing where it was like, if somebody came in and said, would you shoot you? If you deny your faith, would they shoot you? I'd be denying that shit in like 2 fucking seconds. And be like, no, you should stand up. And at the time, my old teacher, Steffes, again, thing number 2 of the 3 girls I tried to date in my lifetime was Bridget Steffes. Her mother, I forget her first name, but Mrs. Steffes was the theology teacher, and she taught it right. She was like, fuck that shit. Obviously didn't say that, but she was like, somebody says come in and deny your faith. This is as a theology teacher. Definitely deny your faith. But again, obviously I'm not fucking religious, never have been, went to Catholic schools, just the educational background I have. But not really much of any education besides transmit insecure behavior from your teachers. But but just in general, if you really live in a country where it's like it's life or death, you're in Ukraine or you're actually gonna get executed, why just whip off your headdress? Don't you say, I'll just reckless saying, I don't care if I die. Be a little more strategic about what the fuck you're going to do. I'm not calling for violence in any way. Just be more strategic with your own fucking life. If they're actually executing protesters, you're gonna stand strong, and it's like there's 14,000 of you and they drown you up and execute you. That didn't get too much shit done. So get shit done. Be practical. My God. And make sure I'm still rolling. And for that story, and again, journalists, report the facts. Don't try to learn how to write a fucking sentence. It's hilarious to see people on Reddit. Excuse me, English is my second language. And then I read sentences from people with English as their first language. I have to read 17 times trying to figure out what the subject is, who they're talking about. And it's just some illiterate fucking hillbilly. Some hillbilly from Louisiana following Ben Shapiro, waving his Trump flag. But the Taliban leader issues full Sharia law, including public executions. So again, people of Islamic heritage, what is Sharia law? It's translation of scholars. So again, this is translation of, again, some acceptance of the death penalty, which is absolutely biologically evident with every species that has ever fucking existed. But this is malice. It's haram. It's haram. No halal, no haram. Fucking public executions for what? Wearing your dresses wrong, women going to schools, education. You're going to talk about Sharia law and just the brutal aspects, and not the point that it's about education. It's about growing your populace, growing the love of God, being respectful of the Prophet. And so Sharia law is just translation from Islamic scholars. That is what it is. And so using that to justify a brutal behavior is not a good idea. Again, the world population hits 8 billion people. They're all stealing from me, and I'm teaching everybody everything. We had another great quote from the honorary Ninja Turtle. Sure as fuck looked like one's Charlie Munger, still kicking. He says, the country didn't need a currency that was good for kidnappers. As everything considered, cash is way better for kidnappers. Go kidnap somebody. Again, don't actually kidnap somebody. If someone happened to be kidnapped, go ask the FBI, Charlie. Is it easier to track if they paid with bitcoins on a honeypotted website, or just tracking the transactions, or a big wad of cash that nobody knows where the fuck it came from? So cash is 100% more anonymous than fucking any sort of crypto. And he said the appreciations was partly fraud and partly delusion. No, some aspects of, again, certain projects could be fraudulent, like Sam Bankman-Fried, but partly delusion. Charlie, again, the delusion is thinking you don't already live in a fucking digital currency environment. Decentralized finance. It's like central banks aren't that central in general. That's why all have different currencies and they all fucking fluctuate against one another. The goods are the goods, buddy. Oh, Charlie. And again, Charlie Munger. And I used to remember him being described before you guys really knew who I was. Oh, he could get to the bottom of a person in 5 minutes. Come on, Charlie, get to the bottom of me, big guy. Come on, big guy. Come on, let's do some science, economics, any subject you want to talk about. And I'll start proving your thoughts the instant you start demonstrating insecurity or inefficiency or inconsistency all the time. Nice. So I got my house power washed, a little store, a little around the house. Got my house power washed from All-in-One Contracting. The owner was Christian. There's a small contractor here in the Blacklick, Ohio area. Highly recommend. He was a little late, but that was all right. Again, as long as you do the job properly and get it done. Said he was going to be here at 9:30. We were in good communication. Didn't get here for a couple hours, but again, with communication. But he did a good job. He brought his team member. They got a good job. They got it done in about 2.5, 3 hours. That was a fair price, maybe a little above average for around town. But all in all, I thought he was a good worker. So shout out to Christian at All-in-One Contracting at Blacklick, Ohio. People. Ooh, I had some Twitter interactions with a user called Unplugged User and Luis Elizondo. Again, it's like this is so fucking hilarious. Let's see how do I try to get gotta navigate Twitter again. But it's like there's a post that says, I don't know about you guys, however for me, I'm going to request at Lou Elizondo return back to the fold and do his usual podcasts and interviews that updates on current UFO, UAP news and events. We need you back on the front lines again, my good friend. I hope it's the fucking dude in the fucking picture, because the Unplugged User looks like a fat dude that jerks off on Reddit all day with some Matrix guy in the thing. But I hope it's this fucking guy. And I just respond, I can live stream aliens. You trash are the problem. The reason Lou Elizondo is not going off air is because federal governments who have aliens, who know they can walk like us, I have them on air, on record recording this. I can live stream fucking aliens, so I said, hey, I'll just live stream aliens. They'll solve the problem real quick. And I said, you trash are the problem. Yeah, fraud is being a trashy person. Stealing people's property. Life work is trashy. That's pretty disrespectful, no? Stealing someone's entire life work and asking the most profound discovery ever, and I can't stop doing it all day? That seems pretty trashy to me. But again, a bunch of middle-aged people that don't know how to behave, and the minute you insult them, I don't like being insulted. Oh my gosh. Gee golly gosh. How could you ever state facts that offend me? 2 million people die in the United States because cannabis isn't legalized. Oh golly gosh, don't offend me. Then he just responds, insults. How human of you. Oh yeah, that's the most dehumanized person fucking ever. I don't give a fuck. I want my fucking money, and every person that's committed crimes, fucked. Yeah, how human of me. Yeah, destroying my entire life is not very human of you. You people. Care to elaborate without being vulgar or repulsive? Yeah, $10 million cash offer, 350 to 400 educational lectures, irrespective of aliens and UFOs. Knowledge demonstrated in all aspects of research and methodology public. Just need like a stage. Just need 48 YouTube subscribers. And he says, if so, feel free to contribute to this conversation in a healthy and respectful manner. Sorry for invading your safe space, Unplugged User. We need Lou Elizondo, a fat fuck who has no spine whatsoever, and Mike Pence, who has no courage to enforce the law. They need to be on the front lines. We need another Congress report with zero unclassified data. Oh, that's gonna do so much. But it's quite easy if you apply yourself. If I apply myself. Again, I am still trying to apply myself. I am still trying to educate myself. I'm still trying to learn maturity. And I'm definitely not scapegoating and projected on by people way fucking stupider than me and way more immature than me. Definitely, that is never what is occurring. It is never you people doing anything wrong. It's always me, you, ooh, Brad, the guy that doesn't behave like a fucking horny 14-year-old until he's fucking dead. Ooh, you. Hello, I just said LOL, got a first and last name. Mine's Brad Boas, because his name on Twitter is Unplugged User. Experimental evidence, method, video, audio, individuals on record for $10 million. Is that polite for your safe space, buddy? He says trolling. No, again, my God. And this is the community that wants disclosure, and this is how they fucking behave. I'm not allowed to socialize. Free aliens. I'm not allowed to socialize. I'm not allowed to go into any groups of people, and I'll have this type of behavior come back to me. It has never occurred. No one would be 30 on this upcoming year. Recently turned 29, 2 months ago, but absolutely no insight. It said trolling, a concept I understand is a mechanism to cope with various aspects of one's mental instability. Yeah, again, I've been tortured since childhood. Super unstable over here, yeah. Yeah, when I make educational content and do research for the entire day, all day, every single day, including the nighttime, every 3 hours. Super unstable. However, a concept I really don't see as to why the few prefer it. Oh, now we're getting into the worlds that I can't even read your sentences. Is this truly what you enjoy to be as? Good sentence. Do you find yourself entertaining yourself with such antics? Just have experimental evidence. I'll pay a lot of money to disclose the most important discovery ever. And it's not aliens. It's my proving. I just said projection. Period. Ask your boyfriend Lou. Then he says, perhaps there will be a time frame, my friend, where you'll gain confidence and be yourself and not this image. I literally have my actual image and my name on here in the thread. This is just for not really. It's not even really trolling. I'm not gonna put Brad Boas again. No one's gonna follow that shit. I know people I know following me, personally. I don't care if they follow me. It's just for news stuff, and the people that know who the fuck I am, like in a professional sense. But he says there'll be a time when you gain confidence and be yourself and not this image. Coming from a dude named Unplugged User with a fake image, I'm assuming. And my name is Plumplog42069, but I gave him my first and last name for real in the thread. You can find my YouTube in 2 seconds. And my actual picture. So again, not projection. Right? That's not projection at all. As well be capable of holding a conversation without insults or any form of trolling mentality. Again, I just direct statement of facts, no emotions, no nothing. Blah. I send them, they're seeing the fire and brimstones now. Maybe then you'll want to contribute to the discussion in a healthy manner. Yep, I promise you full disclosure, and I'll pay you $10 million to do so. And that was the interaction I got. So, yeah, it's just, okay. Russia and Ukraine, both documented torturing prisoners of war. I said LOL. That was from the UN, because again, both Russia and Ukraine are aware of my research. That would absolutely help the sentiment of all people, and they will not publish it in their universities. So I can't feel sympathy for people that won't clean up their own fucking bed. If you shit on a plate and start smearing it all over your face, just get that plate away from me. I don't want a plate. I'm at the cookout, I don't want a plate. And if you start throwing a food fight with a food fight into a shitstorm, well, I did what I fucking could, and I get mocked for it, disrespected every 2 fucking, literally, since, including the harassing Medicare calls. I mean, it's 15 times a day now, with a major event every 2 days to 2 weeks. Every time I have to interact with anybody, that is what occurs. But yeah, again, we're primitive behavior. We see a bunch of people get mowed down, or our dudes in our battalion get mowed down. We capture a couple people. Well, we're gonna get some retribution. It's vengeful, and it's a part of human behavior. It is. But again, I don't have any sympathy for the beginning of these wars. No, zero. Publish paper. Do what you can. Do what is practical to help change the sentiment of the species that produces peace. Did we do so? No. Did we do so in direct violation of international law? Yes. Did we do so in direct violation of Brad's human rights to the point where I can't fucking eat? Yes. I don't care. Don't care. All the people that really care just change their Twitter handle to have the Ukraine flag and then disrespect me and don't do anything they could do to help either. So, a Russian missile explodes in Poland, killing 2. Was a Ukrainian defense missile per NATO or the United Nations or somebody. But again, don't say Iran votes to execute 14,000 students if it's something direct thing that's occurring, journalists. If it says a Russian missile explodes in Poland, clarify, right? I'm sure Ukraine has seized Russian ammunitions or munitions from different posts or this thing. So when it says a Russian missile, and then like the first scare was the Russians shot into Poland, okay, and then the response was it was a Russian missile from Ukraine. So that was the exact titling that I read. So it was a seized missile. Be more clear in what the fuck you were writing about, you illiterate fucking trash. Say words you know. Don't try to sound smart. That is speciality 100% of the time. And so I'm assuming it's a Russian missile that was seized by Ukraine. That was inadvertently fired or something. But again, still not clear because people cannot speak words properly and correctly and concisely. They can't. They watch me behave behind closed doors. They don't know how to behave themselves. They're around other people that cannot behave whatsoever. They have young families and they're trying to chase a career. And literally the only thing they did in their lives was try to play games and come. That's all they ever did, for real. And then it's like, now I have to write words. Oh, well, I have to clean Johnny's diaper and I have to go to yoga class and I have to prep dinner and I don't know how to eat anyway and I'm buck. And then they try to write sentences and you have no idea what the fuck occurred. Donald Trump announces candidacy for 2024 presidential election. Oh, is it good for this timing or bad timing? I saw Ben Shapiro tweeted it was a strange time to announce. Like, I don't do politics like that. Like, running a campaign, my God, I can't even watch that shit on TV shows. But Ben Shapiro used a poker analogy, and I just tweeted back, when did Ben Shapiro become a poker expert? I wonder where all these analogies are coming from. So now I can't seem to watch a Lex Friedman podcast without talking about poker. Man, I just recently watched somebody do a 15-part poker playthrough series, and now everybody's talking about poker. I wonder why. It's almost like everyone's following me, stealing my property, refusing to identify me in any normal public way with YouTube followers or payment behind closed doors or anything, and then just mimic my behavior. And then they just project and talk about me without identifying me personally, which is the most profound psychological torture you could ever go through. Complete social isolation for real. At the same time, everyone's stealing everything you do, so you hear yourself in everything everybody else does, without being able to be a part of the game. I can't get into the game. I can't participate. I can't get in. I am out. And once these tables fucking turns, you fucking trash are fucking out. In the same exact sense. That's karma, bitch. You'll experience what I've experienced. In this life and the fucking next. You guys are disgusting. Disgusting fucking people. You're not for or against Trump. I don't do politics at all. I just think politics is an absolute fucking disease. And anybody who engages in politics is so fucking illiterate they can't do anything goddamn else with their fucking selves because they're too fucking stupid. Elon Musk's talking about fucking stupid people. Let's get back to Elon Musk. He hires back engineers he just fired. What a terrible businessman. Get everybody else like, oh, jerking off, all moon, space, rockets, go make a public company, get investors, blow up a huge public valuation. Isn't really innovative. Oh, Elon Musk, what do you do, PayPal? Build reusable rockets? Fucking sweet, bro. I contact fucking aliens, nigga. With my brain. My rain brains. Rain man, rain brains. So, yeah. You know, Neuralink, I'll beat you to it, buddy. Fucker. You gotta get the update from Andromeda. You gotta get the downloads from Medusa. You gotta get the Zeus. Gotta get the Zeus lightning bolts and the Poseidons. And again, just Greek names for stories. And again, to me, all myth has some sort of, because you don't remember what it was never remembered. Like you don't. Obviously, some lore and some mythology, but it's again just like I was watching when I reviewed the Mr. In-Between yesterday. There's a scene where he tells his daughter that unicorns are real, and she asks, is Jesus real? And he's like, never met the guy, could be, which again, obviously was fucking real. That's why we remember his name and discuss him. But God was different than Aaron was different than Jesus. That's why the Old and New Testament are about different people, or profoundly different because they're about different people. But were unicorns real? Probably. Like, how hard was it be to imagine an extinct species of horse with a horn? And we have narwhals. So it's like, it's not hard to imagine any extent at all. And so, and again, life is life. It's not that complicated. Like, alien life isn't like way more intelligent, it'll be older, but it's not like, again, maybe 80% consolidation of behavior, and anybody getting on a spaceship and flying off home planet is going to be a part of team knows how to behave. I just get projected. When people tell me to be nice in that kind of context, it's just like, don't tell me how to behave. I'm an individual organism. I know how to fucking behave. He's probably more mature than all of us. No, I definitely fucking am. I'm not a part of a group. Forget human beings. Like terrestrial animals. People feel safety in groups. I've never been a part of a group. Therefore, I don't feel safe. No uniqueness to humanity. And so be nice. I want the law to be enforced. I want people to behave. And how you get people to behave is enforce the fucking law. I'm the one proving the law and writing it. In God we trust. That's on every court in this fucking country. And people can't stop saying it because it's fucking true. But Elon Musk is just such a bad. It's just, again, his jokes are fucking terrible. Like, the sync was fucking so stupid. Every time he talks, he short circuits for 5 fucking minutes. And he's just hiring engineers and then firing them back in a week. Like, in tweet, it's the worst mistake I ever made. Welcome back. So some fat Indian dude and some other piece of shit. It's just like, I don't know, maybe that guy, he got hired at the Medicare call center and that's who's been calling me. And so yeah, maybe he won't call me today. He's back at Twitter now. But as a businessman, again, if I was ever actually allowed to participate in the business world, again, holy fucking shit. But I think Elon Musk does not strike me as a competent business operator, doesn't. Again, when I live in a business environment where so you can just have an idea, raise some money, Sam Bankman-Fried's now worth $40 billion, up now he's worth like $10. It's like leverage. You guys are doing a little too much leverage, way too much getting ahead of yourselves. So in general, I don't understand how you over leverage yourself on a business like that without genuine innovation. Again, as somebody who has to think about every penny I spend literally 7 years after the most profound scientific discovery in human history. And my neighbor 18 months ago, why are you still trying to make money? Because I need basic human identity. And I need to be completely financially independent, which I can't do because my property is fraudulently devalued. So it's like, I'm still trying to feel basic identity and I can't. My life quality is 0. My mental health is 0. My integrity is 0. My decency is 0. And people tell me that's what I deserve every minute of every day that I interact with fucking anybody. Oh, so I'll just finish up with one final tweet. We have election tweet from the great Tim Pool. Again, I know this weird fuck with no values. He's got a little bit of popularity, and now he has to like keep engaging his audience, and he has no values. He doesn't know what the fuck to say, so he just says the dumbest shit ever. And again, it's like a pathetic wannabe Republican type of person. It's not a person. It's just a walking, talking narrative head with a little bit of popularity. He says, and this is the second part of the tweet. It says, elections today are all about how the votes get cast and not about how people actually feel. LOL to the 69th power to the 420th power. And the beginning of the tweet was like, this part of Pennsylvania had MAGA flags everywhere and Trump stickers all over their cars. And that was his great research. That was his great set of empirical evidence, was driving through the street and seeing a bunch of flags, according to him. And then he was like, elections today are all about how votes get cast. Correct. Yeah, definitely. That's what voting is. And again, as someone who thinks voting is fucking retarded because of the populace, it's fucking retarded. Do I vote for Herschel Walker or Joe Biden? Is it the primary? Is it midterms? Do I know anybody voting? No, I just retard alert. I always gotta keep it politically correct in my bits. But yeah, that dude's fucking stupid. But yeah, that was it for today. A lot of the news cycle's pretty heavy. I had to get out some content before I got overloaded. But one other thing is, again, I do this stuff all day. And you might watch a 30-minute to a 45-minute video, but I do this stuff all day, from morning to night. And at the nighttime, like yesterday, I was watching Impulsive, and I've been talking a lot about gypsies, saying we can do basically whatever we want. Oh, excuse me, we can steal basically whatever we want. Well, come here, come steal my proof. It is what it is. What are you going to steal? I don't know. But then yesterday I was watching Impulsive, and again, I can predict language. And this is on record, this is recorded. Right before George says gypsies in the episode yesterday. And I predicted it as it's occurring. As the episode is airing, as I'm watching this episode, I'm predicting languages. Like the words that are going to come next in just the most random context whatsoever. Just like I did with professional Sean Carroll throughout the day, back in the day, with his shitty fucking podcast with no goddamn videos on it. So literally, you start a conversation and I will start to be able to derive like the next logical words that must occur, and then you'll just start saying them in order. So, On record, been doing this my entire life, publicly documented for 6 going on 7 fucking years. And it'll be 7 going on 8 years after December 16th-ish. So, thank you for watching Language, Litigation, and Integration Part 159, Casual Conversation 77. I'm your host, Bradley Bose. I'm being profoundly and extensively tortured. There is nothing I can do, there is nowhere I can go, and there is no one I can call. I am going to be tortured until the day that I die, because other people do not know how to behave, and they do not change. Thanks for watching. If anyone has any compassion at any point in time, or any decency or integrity, please enforce the law. Thanks for watching.